Turning on for the first time the Kakumiru by King Jim, it says select your language. You can choose Japanese or English. We're going to choose English. You then have to calibrate the screen. Then you have to say what kind of batteries you're using, if it's standard alkaline batteries or rechargeable Eneloop batteries. We are just using standard alkaline batteries. You can set the date and time. We're just going to say okay because it doesn't really matter. And now we're in the device itself. You can start writing immediately on the device screen, which is in the middle right away, or you can use some of the elements on the top and bottom. Now, likely we're going to be one of the only English review channels to review this, so we'll go through every single option. Now, there's not a whole lot, so let's just sit back and watch. So we do have the pen, which is only in black, and we do have the eraser. Now, this is not using Wacom, it's not even using any sort of EMR, which is electromagnetic resonance, aka a stylus. This is just a pleasantry. You don't actually need this. You can use your finger. It's using resistive touch, which basically means there is a layer on top of the actual touch layer, and when you push it down, it interacts with the screen. You don't actually need the pen. You can use anything, including your finger. If things get super hairy and your screen is too muddled up, you can actually just click delete. It says, are you sure you want to delete? Yes, you can. Now we're just going to write corner to corner to show you the extended range. You can go pretty deep underneath the side bezel, but the top and bottom panels actually get in the way. So that is effectively your range of where you can write. You can't actually write over the top taskbar or the bottom itself. You do have alarms as well, so you can set your alarm as you see fit, and you can actually hear audio on this to a certain degree. So it does have a little MIDI player in the back, although there's no actual onboard audio to the point where you can listen to music and whatnot, but it will do little jingles, beeps, and boops when it comes to things like alarm. Down here it says create a new page, but it doesn't do anything unless you have something written on the screen. For example, we're still page 1 out of 1, but if I write anything on the screen and then click create a new page, it registers that we're going to move on to something else, and you can cycle between your pages using the directional keys right here. Down here you have your tasks basically, so you can create ones like use alarm, etc., and it actually doesn't do anything right here. It's individually squared off, so you can write things in individual task sections. When you click delete, that goes away. You can use the eraser and the pen accordingly in this selected region. Calendar, of course, is just a calendar. No, we're not shooting this in the past. This is just an old date because we didn't change the date and time. Now, pressing on anything actually doesn't do anything. You actually have to press and hold, and then when you do that, it makes an instant alarm that you can go and say, this is the day I'm going to do something. You can then press OK, and then you have added a new alarm in which it will show up under your tasks. Over here is your clock, so you can just have it kind of there, and that's basically what it'll do. So right now it's 8 minutes after when we started filming, so it'll just kind of go around in circles, and that'll just basically be your clock. Calculator will just be your calculator, so you can go 2 + 2 = 4, or something a little more technical, but there is no scientific option. It is basically just this. Again, there will be very few people reviewing this, so we'll just go through every single one and have a little bit of a virtual user manual, so to speak. Power management tells you how much battery life is left, which is very nice. Auto sleep. Sleep mode screen. Current screen, screen off, or calendar. You don't get any browser to put your own in. Start week on. You can choose Sunday or Monday. Some people like the French, they do it Monday through Sunday, whereas we go weekends. Calibration, of course, you can calibrate the screen. You can set a password on this as well, so that's really nice if you want to lock your device. You can export your memos to SD card because it does have an SD card on the back right here, and you can choose whether you do or do not want to do that. Or you can import your notes as well, and we will have a list of all of the formats it supports down below in the description. You can also format the entire device, deleting all data, and that basically removes everything from the device. You also, of course, have a magnetic snap on the side where you can put your pen at any given time. And again, if you lose your pen, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. You don't necessarily need it. This device can actually be mounted two ways. You can put it down kind of like a POS system where you sign for your groceries after using your credit card, or you can put it up on its own stand. And because it has a gyroscope on board, it automatically flips when you change positions. Now, it can't go landscape, but it can go portrait in either direction, so that's very nice to have. It also has, on both orientations, rubber stoppers, so it's 4 on the back and 4 on the bottom respectively, total of 8, so it doesn't matter which way you prop it up, it's always going to be gripped on your tabletop. The Kakumiru is running full eink, and it comes out of a company that's relatively new to the international scene, King. They have made the Freno FRN10 earlier on in 2020. This is a device that is single purpose. It is used to make notes. You're not supposed to do anything else with it. It has an SD card as a pleasantry to export your notes because there's no internet or Wi-Fi capabilities. This thing doesn't even have lithium-ion batteries on board, which actually makes it very cheap, very universal, and very easy to ship because it's not actually considered dangerous goods, and it's also non-luxury. This is not an electronic device that has batteries enabled, and batteries exist in almost every country in the world. This device serves a single purpose, and it serves it well. If you guys want to buy this, you can buy it from our website. It ships anywhere in the world, and for a full review of the Kakumiru by King, this is Peter.